Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Rissy, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome back to another episode of Winning in Business. Today, I am here with Dr. Moira Hanna, and I am so excited for her to share her brilliance with us today. And let me read a little bit about her so that you know what we're going to be talking about today. So with over 15 years of experience in course creation and instructional design, Dr. Moira combines her love for education with her Story Brand Guide certification to guide clients from idea to implementation of their course, membership, or coaching program. Dr. Moira's unique approach allows clients to lean into their vision, take meaningful action, and master their entrepreneurial mindset to experience success. I am so excited because I feel like when we're looking at a certain type of entrepreneur, right? And we're looking at courses, membership, and a coaching program. I can't wait to hear what you have to say to bring this in, because I know that there are people that are listeners that can truly bring one of these, if not all of them, into their business. So Dr. Moira, welcome, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Kelly. I'm thrilled to be here with you.
Yes, so I'm so excited. First of all, let's just dive into, how did you get into what you're doing? Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Oh my gosh. So this feels somewhat complicated, so I'm going to try and simplify it as much as possible.
Okay.
The simple part of it is that I have been in course creation and instructional design in higher ed and in private business for over 15 years. So I've been doing this course creation stuff day in and day out. I live it, breathe it, sleep it, eat it. Okay. And it's just kind of part of who I am. But the strategic side of things happened as a result of watching new coaches coming out of their training program so excited, but lacking the support they needed to actually build a business. And it's just plain wrong to see these amazing human beings invest in themselves and invest in what will allow them to help other people, and then they don't get any support. And so I really thought hard about it. I was watching this happening and I just knew I needed to do something. And so I learned everything I could. I became a Story Brand certified guide. I learned about business. Strategy is one of my big strengths. So I leaned into that more than ever before and realized that I could take all of this 15 years of experience in instructional design and actually incorporate it with my guide certification, with my strategy strengths, and help people go from that idea and actually getting something launched.
So I know what a Story Brand Guide is. Can you share a little bit in case someone doesn't know?
Sure. So Story Brand is an amazingly simple way of mastering your marketing and your messaging. Donald Miller came up with this approach. It's a 7-piece framework upon which you build all of your marketing and messaging. I use that framework for so many things, just because it's simple. It allows us to connect with our clients in a way that's genuine, that's authentic, and it's not fancy.
And the Story Brand can really be used for any business, correct? Like,
Yes.
I mean, I know, your audience, you like to help coaches and probably consultants do their thing, but Story Brand can be used in any industry.
Everywhere.
Yeah, which is great.
It has been used in major car manufacturers. Donald Miller has been invited in to help them story brand their businesses. It's used in the service industry. It's used in product industries. It just works.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So
for all the success that you've had, I want you to share some big ahas for you.
Okay.
I mean, because you switched industries, you started, but like, what do you feel like are the major things that have like, this has led to my success?
Okay. So the first one I think is to engage in progress-driven learning. My top strength is that I'm a learner. Yeah. I love, and you can't be in higher ed without learning, learning.
Right. I love learning too. Yes.
So one of the big mistakes I made when I was getting started is I purchased all of these courses and I purchased all of these different tools and all of these different things. And I got wrapped up in thinking I needed all of the products, the services, the thises and the that's. And in reality, what I had to learn to do is pull back and say, what is going to help me make progress? And when you are really clear on what you want to accomplish, essentially you're performing a gap analysis. You're essentially saying, what skills, tools, mindset shifts, resources do I need to get from point A to point B? Mm-hmm. And when you know that, then you know what to go out and learn.
Yes.
So that you're not just staying on this hamster wheel of learning. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite things.
Yes, I was going to say for us education learning junkies, it is exciting. And I 100% agree that we can get caught in that trap of I have to know more. I need to know more. What else is there to know? And then we're not out doing.
Yes. And that kind of brings me to that second aha moment that I had. And it was the importance of taking meaningful action. I had for the longest time, I can't believe I'm admitting this because did not work for me at all. I had a sticky note on my computer and it had take action, any action, and any action was underlined 3 times. And so I took action, but it wasn't the meaningful action that was going to make a difference in my business. And I see this happen all the time. We take action saying, well, I'm checking things off my list, so it can't be bad. Mm-hmm. And you're right. You're getting things done. Mm-hmm. But is it the stuff that's actually going to move your business forward? And chances are it's not, because that stuff, you're putting it off. Right? Yeah. That goes back to the mindset stuff you talked about.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because it's easier to do the take any action, right? Of the things that are just easy for us that don't move the needle, but it looks like it's the busy, yes. Right? Instead of the really impactful.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And so if you can stop avoiding the stuff that feels tricky, that feels challenging, that feels like you might mess it up. Mm-hmm. If you can start doing that stuff, that's going to be the meaningful action that you need for your business to move forward. And yes, chances are you are going to quote unquote mess it up. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be perfect, but you don't need perfect and you don't need pretty. You need to get stuff out so that you can make adjustments. That's the scientist in me, right? We experiment. We start with something, we try it, test it, make adjustments, try again. Yeah. And that's what meaningful action gives you the chance to do.
So the aha is, if you have a sticky note on your desk that says take action, any action, change it to now say
take action, meaningful action.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Good. Oh my gosh. Okay. What else do you have for us?
Okay. I think my third big, you asked for 3, right?
Yeah. 3, 5, whatever you got.
Okay. I think my third big aha that I had was when I was looking in the market and trying to establish myself as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. I was recognizing there was a lot of noise. There were all of these people, and I kept feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to create better this and better that. And a lot of times it came down to, I have to be more clever in my messaging. I have to be more clever with my offer. It has to be more detailed and complicated and all of the things. And my aha was, you don't have to do that. Simple, simplicity. And you heard me talk about the story brand process and it's all about being simple, right? Well, simplicity reigns supreme. We actually don't want to make our people burn calories trying to figure out what we're offering.
Yeah.
And if you're being clever, if you're being fancy, complicated, all they're doing is getting tired. You're asking them to burn their precious calories trying to figure out what it is you're doing. And so the moment I said, you know what? Everything is just going to be simple. That's when I started having more clients say yes. That's when social media posts and reels and podcast episodes and everything became easier. Mm-hmm. They didn't make me sweat. You know, it just, you got to be you.
Yes. And I love that. And I think it reminds me too, that when we do things in that simplistic way, we can do them with just more joy and have more fun and it be easy and efficient.
Easy and efficient, two of my favorite words.
Right, exactly. Right. And I think sometimes that, we feel like business has to be hard. Nope. Like, when did you decide that? How about we make it easy and do things the simple way that can be truly effective?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think a lot of times we think that because, at least I know this is where I was coming from. I was watching big launches and saying, oh, okay, they have the fancy lighting, the fancy camera, the fancy microphone. They have this product and that program and the really big stream deck, to switch between different screens. And I'm thinking, okay, that's the launch. Then I have to have all of these emails. I have to have this big, massive thing. Mm-hmm. It's got to have all of these bonuses. And I realized you didn't actually have to have 99% of that. Mm-hmm. What you do have to have is a genuine caring for your clients or your students. And when you show up with that open heart, that's when you see the success that you're looking for. It's not the lighting. It's not the fancy stuff. Yeah. It's not the fancy webinar launch. I love webinars. Don't get me wrong. I love launching like that, but you don't have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good stuff right there. That's a great aha. And, I think thinking about that going from your meaningful action, then going into the simplicity of it, right? And thinking about those two things together, and then just cutting down the noise. You are 100% right about what you said. There is so much noise out there. And, you can get caught up in the noise and then you're not getting anything done. No. Or you get caught up in the noise and the next thing you know, you got, 15 screens open and you're switching, like you're in the middle of this project and you switch to this project and that, and that's not good either. Cause then that's kind of disrupting the flow of you really getting into the flow of doing what you need to do. Mm-hmm. And I think what you said is, I love those three. So progress-driven learning, taking action, meaningful action, and then really going to the simplicity side of things instead of trying to make it hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that seems kind of basic, but we just get wrapped up in all of this. And for me, when I was able to realize that, the stress started to melt away.
And I think the other thing that we have to look at too, as instead of getting caught up in comparing ourselves to the people that are doing all the fancy things, and the people that are doing all the fancy things probably have a team. Well, not probably, they do have a team, right? Yes. So they have a team of people working for them. And if you have a team of people working for you, then great, you are ready to build and expand. However, how can you do that simply also? Because again, still, I loved what you said about going back and like, how do we want our clients, our customers, how much energy do they want them to expend?
Yeah.
And I think that's great for us to think about. Number one, conserving our energy and putting it where we really need it to, and also our customers and our clients.
And they will appreciate you for that. They will appreciate that working with you and interacting with you is easy.
Yes. Yes.
Life
And
is not easy.
Yeah. The more hoops that you make people jump through, no matter what it is, right? No matter if you're selling a product, if you're selling a service, the more hoops people have to jump through. I feel like we are in a society today that we're like, I have a lot of things going on and I don't want to jump through any more hoops.
Right.
Yeah.
And if they're clumsy like me, you might trip over the hoops. And then, then those good things don't happen either.
Yeah. For you, is there a specific process that you take, like a specific strategic process that you take your clients through?
I do. We actually start with vision and values. I don't care who I'm working with. We always take a step back. And for some people, they are super clear on this and can tell me their exact vision and their values, both personally and professionally, because they aren't going to be quite the same. They will be complementary, but they won't be the same, most likely. And we talk about that because if you are building a business that's not based on your vision and your values, you are going to create this strife in your life as you and your business compete against each other.
Yes. Which is where I often see clients, right? Where they're now, their stress is high, they're on the verge of burnout, right? Because of that, because their vision and their values really aren't aligned in how they're working.
So I like to put that kind of, if you think about a Venn diagram, it kind of goes in the very center, because then everything that we work on, whether it is that course and their objectives or their membership and that plan they take their members through, or a coaching program that they walk their clients through, when they create those objectives, those resources, the process, it's going to be something that aligns with who they are, which means they aren't going to roll out of bed and groan saying, I've got a client call today.
Yes.
Please don't make me.
Yeah. Let me ask you, as far as membership goes, even courses, do you feel like they can be for any business, or do you feel like there's only, share more about that.
I think that a lot of times when we are thinking about working with our clients, we have this very narrow view of where they need to be to work with us. And a lot of times they need either support on the beginning or the end part of this narrow piece that we often focus on as a business owner. And so creating a membership that allows for early support, even before they're ready for, say, your signature offer, that they can grow with you. They get to know you. They get to see your style and start to emulate some of the things that you've already figured out, but it's a low risk environment for them. And it's a good system for you as an entrepreneur because you have a kind of a hot pipeline of people who you know are going to be a good fit for your primary offer that you want to share with them.
Yeah.
So it just sets your business up beautifully to have this steady flow of people that are ideally suited to work with you, whether that's in a one-on-one setting or more intimate group setting, or even a bigger course setting or bigger membership process.
Yeah. For your courses, for your clients that you help develop courses, what can you just share a little bit? Like, courses are hot right now.
They are.
And can you just talk about courses?
So courses give you a unique way to really share all of your wisdom in a way that doesn't necessarily require you to show up in person all the time, all day long, every day. And certainly you can live teach a course. Think about if you went to college, in high school, wherever, you went to a live course, most likely, with your teacher. So you can certainly do courses like that. But the beauty of courses, I think, is that you can create this on-demand system that allows people to learn when they need to learn, when they're ready to learn, when it's a progress-driven learning moment for them. And so you can share your wisdom. We have so much access to just technology these days to create resources that allow them to learn in their own home in a way that's great for them. Sometimes I cast courses up onto my living room TV and sit on the couch, snuggled up with my blanket and my iPad to take notes, and I watch on my big screen.
Yes.
I don't have to sit at my computer anymore and feel like I'm tied to it to take part in a course. So I think courses just give us a way, whether it's a really tiny workshop style course that's maybe just an hour long, or this big life-changing course that's teaching you how to do something massive that takes hours upon hours and weeks to really get through. There are just options.
Yeah.
And I think every business can benefit from having some kind of course, whether it's short or big or somewhere in between.
Yeah. And I think, I look at it as I'm not the expert, you are, but I look at it as if there is something that you are always teaching, always, like every single person that walks into my business, that's the stuff that you can turn into the course. Right. And so then it's already there and they can watch it, whatever. One of the coaches I worked with, she had a course, and we would, before the coaching calls, you'd listen to certain modules, you'd have your coaching call. And what I loved about it is then in the coaching calls, she'd be like, oh yeah, and you can refer back to this in module, blah, blah, blah. Right. So then it was like, oh yeah. And now I need more, like, oh, I should go re-listen to that. And then she could tell me exactly where it was at. And how beautiful was that to have it where I could reference it and listen to it at any time. I mean, that was a huge advantage.
Yes. I've been in courses like that. I certainly have taught courses like that. And it is nice because you can say, not a problem. I already have that resource for you. Remember, it's in this video, or, oh, you might not have gotten to that yet. It's in this specific video, right about this timestamp. But you can also search the transcript and find it. And just zero in on that one little segment that you need. So people, I think, are learning in a very streamlined manner these days. We get to pick the pieces we need and then learn it and do it.
Yeah. When we need them too. Yeah. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always ask this question: as a business owner, what challenges do you currently face?
Oh, time.
Oh, time.
That is probably my biggest thing. I'm a homeschooling mom. I teach a couple college classes a semester, and I have my business. And so I have to be really creative with my offers, with my time, because I do need to be present during the day for my son and help him with math lessons, algebra. Oh my goodness. It's been a while since I took that.
Yeah.
But really helping him, but also staying attentive to my clients and helping them feel very taken care of. So I've gotten creative. I talked about keep it simple. I had all of these big things. I had memberships that required me to be live multiple different hours during the day, several days a week. And it was just, we were pushing and pulling in our family. And we realized, we do a lot as a family. So we talked about it. We talked about how it wasn't really working for all of us combined. And I pivoted into one-on-one work. Because now I get to have a small boutique business. I work with a handful of clients at a time, one-on-one, and they get the very best of me, and my family gets the very best of me.
And I do think that is, I mean, just saying that as what you said is pivoting, and really, I'm sure going back and looking at what is the vision and what are my values, right? Which you talked about, and seeing that, as a business owner, we don't have to be tied to our business 24/7 like we think we do, or like what, you know what I mean? Like we get caught in the trap of that, and realizing that there is a better way. And I feel like, and this because of your doctor degree, your degree, and as a doctor, like you understand that mindset is so much part of it, of going, wait a minute, I need to reframe. I need to get my mindset back into going, wait, my family needs to come first, right?
And I needed to come somewhere in the list, not dead
Yes.
last.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
But the business I was building, I was dead last. My family was moving on down the line, and all I was doing was sitting in my office, which is lovely. I love my office. However, it is not a place I want to be 24/7.
Right. Yeah. And then that drains the energy.
Mhm.
I mean, that just drains your energy in general.
Mhm.
And then, the space that as business owners, when our energy is drained, how effective are we? Or how are we coming across either to our clients or to our employees, team members, whatever that looks like, right? As, if we're not taking care of ourselves, that's going to be impacting others.
It is. It is.
Yeah. What are your goals moving forward for you in your business and in life?
Honestly, my goal is always to create something that is sustainable, that allows us to have quality family time.
Mhm.
And so I'm not after scaling to a big, huge business. We
Okay.
see a lot about get to 7 figures, get to 8 figures, get to multi 7 figures, as though that's the only choice.
Mhm.
And it's a choice.
Right.
And it took me a while to realize it's a choice that I can make or not make.
Mhm.
And for us, having that smaller business that serves our financial purposes,
Mhm.
but creates plenty of space to do the things we want to do, where I'm not sitting on the beach thinking about, oh my gosh, I should really be doing this and that for my business, instead of just recognizing the waves as they come in and knowing that this is my favorite place to be.
Mhm.
That's my goal, is always to be present in the moment and not worrying externally about all of these other things.
Yeah. And I think, as you said, there's a time and a place for things, right?
Mhm.
And so for you right now, while you're still homeschooling,
Yeah.
building the 7-figure business isn't the priority right now. And it doesn't mean that can't change at some point, or maybe it doesn't, right? But just letting it like organically happen, or I shouldn't say, like, if you know that's what you want, you have to be strategic about it.
You do.
Right? Yeah, knowing that there are seasons and times in life when it's better to do something and not to say no to something else.
Mhm. And that was one of the biggest things I had to learn. It's one of the things I'm probably most proud of in my entrepreneurial journey, is learning to say no and realizing I don't have to do all of the things that people say I should do. I got on a call recently with a coach, and I was interested in her program. And I had written in the pre-call form, I said, I am done just blindly following people. I'm done just adopting these methods and saying, oh, because this person says to do it, I should do it. And we got on the call and she says, so why are you on this call if you don't want to blindly follow something? I said, there's a difference between blindly following and learning from people who have gone ahead of me and are doing things that I'm very interested in incorporating into my business in a way that's right for me. So I'm here to learn.
Yeah. And I think that, I also think that anyone that's shoulding on you,
yes,
right? I mean, we shouldn't should on ourselves, nor should we do that to other people as well, right? And so just really recognizing that, I think is huge in ourselves and our life and our business, in really in looking at us too, is, are we shoulding on other people's, on our clients, on whoever that may be, and taking a step back then.
And that goes, that also ties in with, a lot of times I hear people say, well, but that person can't afford my service, or it's not the right time for them. We are shoulding on them by making decisions. Well, they shouldn't open up their credit card for me and my services. Well, they shouldn't take this on, because we have to learn that the only person we can control is ourselves, and how we act and react and think and feel. And we need to give everyone else that same courtesy, that same respect, that they can also make decisions for themselves. It's not our job to make decisions for anyone else. We can answer their questions. We can show up and listen, but at the end of the day, it is their decision to make.
Yeah. And giving them the space, right, to be able to do that. That's wonderful. So I know you did just say an accomplishment of something that you're really proud of in there. Do you have another one that you're really proud of, an accomplishment you'd like to share?
I think pivoting my business and simplifying it created so much more profit than doing the complicated stuff. And I'm just really proud of the time I took to reflect and recognize what was working and what wasn't. And the moments where I had to actually slow down, because that feels scary as all get out as an entrepreneur, to slow down, right? When you feel like, well, I should be pushing the gas pedal even harder.
Yes.
To say, ooh, something's not working. I need to back off.
Yeah, which is definitely a mindset shift, right? Because, I think we always have to stop and think about like, is this my truth? Or is society telling me that I need to do this, right? Did I gather this from somewhere? And really thinking about that and going, wait a minute, what is best for me right now? And slowing down to speed up is big.
It is. And those gremlins, they appeared. Don't get me wrong. Those mindset gremlins. That was hard. Yeah. And, it takes that time and that willingness to do that kind of work and say, all right, gremlins, take a nap while I figure this out. You just need to be quiet and let me figure this out.
You are someone that through the whole course creation and all that, you're someone that you will help people. You will literally hold their hand through the process, like whatever, a client needs in that way. For you, how much of it is mindset?
93%.
93% is mindset and 7% is the process
and bolts.
Yep. And I think that's something that is so important for all of us to just stop and remember that when things aren't going well, they're not going our way, anything, it's like, okay, I need some mindset work. That needs to be at the forefront, just like you help your clients with that mindset piece first, because if you don't, that course A is not getting completed. Nope. Right. Because of that. So just the importance of really addressing it. Yeah. And that is, am I correct? What do you teach at school? Are you willing to share that? You said you are.
I teach psychology.
Yes. Okay.
Which it's been part and parcel of my life for so long. Yes. That I do it with my students. Even when they're in a college classroom, we work on mindset. They tell me I can't pass these tests. Well, let's talk about that. Some of it's mindset, some of it's strategy.
Right. Yes. And I think your clients are so lucky that they have someone with that background, because if you're only offering strategy only, as we all know, 93% of that is mindset. Right. And so having a coach take them through the course, the membership, the, coaching programs, whatever that looks like, with psychology or mindset being at the forefront, that's going to get stuff done right there is what
we work through a lot of stuff.
Yes. Yeah. So that's wonderful. And I love the fact that you're also, not that you couldn't use psychology anywhere, but what a great place to bring it in to really be able to help as in your own business. You know what I mean? So you still have all of your knowledge and your training behind you and everything, just bringing it into the business setting and using it with clients in a new way instead of how you used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's felt so good to lean into this and to just embrace this piece of my life, because for a lot of times I thought it had to be separate. And then I realized, oh, it doesn't. And I really love this.
Yes.
And so just allowing it to come together in a somewhat different way than everyone has said, you have to do it this way or that way. And me saying, well, I'm going to actually do it this way.
Right. Yeah. And I think that goes back to really trusting yourself, trusting your intuition. And that makes all the difference too. right? Of if you're really trusting yourself to move forward in the way that you know that is best for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's great. Oh, that's fabulous. Okay. So where do you want the listeners to find you, to follow you, to, if whoever's ready for a course, a membership, or a coaching program, we have your gal here.
I would love to connect with all of your listeners. You can DM me at Entrepreneurs in Flow, either on Instagram or Facebook. It goes to the same place anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And let me know you heard this podcast. I would love to set up a 30-minute call just to talk about your course idea, your membership, your coaching program, help you take that next little step forward, because it's so easy to get stuck in our mind, to get stuck in the to-dos, get stuck in those shoulds that we have written down, that sometimes you just need to talk to someone to get that next little step to click. So I'd love to sit down and talk with you.
That is fabulous. And thank you for offering the listeners that call with you. And I think, back to it's just, again, what you said, I think is so important, because when you have a course, it can be passive income for you. Yes. Because people are buying the course, and then, you know what I mean? That is I don't want to say an easy way to make passive income. And yet it is, right? Like, you get it done and then you have it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just frees you up in so many other ways, either to create new things if you love to create, or to spend more time traveling. I was talking with someone not too long ago, and she said, we travel probably 2 or 2.5 months out of every 3. Well, she can do that because she has a course.
She has a course.
It didn't happen on day 1. Let me be very clear. That does not happen on day 1. But it can happen.
Right. Oh, well, that's great. And, this truly is the day and age for courses, because my guess is, listeners, if you sat and thought about all the courses that you have bought lately, and if you don't have one, I highly suggest you take Dr. Moira up on her offer and really just chat with her and see what that would look like for you, and for her to support you through that. So she definitely has a gift of helping others with this process.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So I will link your notes in the show notes, just so everybody knows where to find you, and all those good things. So listeners, you can find that in the show notes. And I want to thank you for taking time out of your day today to be on the show and adding some value to the listeners of Winning in Business.
Thank you so much for having me, Kelly. I appreciate it.
Listeners, please share this with someone that could definitely use a course, or is on the verge of maybe wanting to offer a membership program or something, and that could use some extra support. Share this with them and let them know about it. And we will see you next week on another episode of Winning in Business. Until then, rise up and live.
Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.